Hello, thank you for your patience. I was grabbing some more coffee while we were rearranging everybody.
Hi.
Ms. Bells, I see that you are on the Zoom now. Want to make sure you are aware that the hearing was actually scheduled for 9 o'clock and that counsel for um, Greatwood Glen already appeared this morning, and I entered the judgment that they requested because you were not here. I mean, to be clear, as you and I had discussed, legally they were entitled to the last time. I didn't want to talk with you too much about the substance. But legally they were entitled to the relief that they had requested. But in addition to that, you were not present for the hearing. Excuse me. And so I do want to let you know I did receive, as I communicated with the lawyers for Greatwood Glen, I received the paperwork that you sent over about the payment that you had made. And my understanding is that they acknowledged that that payment was made, but that it was made to a different association for a different matter, unrelated to the debt that is owed in this case, and that was sought to be recovered by Greatwood Glen. And so you were, my review of the record indicates that that is at least facially, it does at least facially seem to be accurate because it was paid to a different law firm than the law firm that represents Greatwood Glen in this case. And so ultimately, the judgment that was entered was the one that was requested, that you had received a proposed judgment because you sent it to me a couple of times in the paperwork that you submitted to the court. I understand how upsetting that must be, and I understand that you don't agree with that outcome, but I wanted to make you aware of that before, if there's anything you wanted to speak with me about. I wanted to make you aware that I received your information and that even though you were not here, I did question counsel and Greatwood Glen about that issue and received answers that appeared to me to be accurate and satisfactory to resolve the issue. Ms. Spells,
Yes, ma'am.
anything else that you want?
Yes, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'm I was here last week with the understanding of trying to be able to settle this. And for some reason I was taken off the docket and didn't know. And I waited until yesterday when I sent information to Mr. Freehouse. And he addressed it this morning, saying yes, I had to be here this morning. I couldn't find the Zoom information. I even have screenshots of the technical problems and things that I had. I tried and tried to contact Noack Howard. They've been so unfair. They either don't answer the call, they don't answer your messages, maybe once or twice. The paralegal, twice the paralegal. He said, if you paid the $4,800 in cash, would you need to do installments? I said, no, I'll pay it right now, right now. And so that's what I'm thinking. And I haven't heard anything back from him, thinking that I was hearing from him. I saw the Sierra Coulter thing and asked Jennifer, who runs the CMA over here. And she says, well, maybe it's another attorney's office, but that's all that I had. And I'm thinking that that's the $4,800 that I originally, back in October or September, October, was starting. They wouldn't answer until finally the 4,800 went to 7,000 because the cycle had gone up. And I said, I am under major hardship right now. And so I'm trying to negotiate a payment plan from $5,000. You guys go up to 7. And now all of a sudden it's 89 when I'm thinking that I'm paying 47, that they had decided to be reasonable because I said that I finally managed to get the cash to pay. How can it be doubled? I'm sorry. I've been trying to reach them. Then they don't contact you back. They said, we'll try the owners at whatever, and they don't get back to you until it's all of a sudden $2,000 more dollars. How's it going to go up double when I'm trying to negotiate a payment plan? to go down. They didn't accept the first one, and I didn't even know that they hadn't accepted the first one.
Ms.
So the
Spells,
only
let
one.
me,
I'm sorry.
no,
I'm sorry. I just don't have $9,000,
Ms.
and I just
Spells,
gave away 4,000.
let me tell you this. Okay. So first of all, I'm very sorry that I am the person who is in the position to enter an order that is so, it's going to be so difficult for you to deal with. I apologize. It is one of the least pleasant and most difficult parts of my job. Let me tell you, however, that the information that I have been provided is that there are two separate matters where two separate associations are attempting to recover amounts that they claim you owe to them, and that they are represented by two separate law firms, and that the payment that you made that you believed would resolve one of that claim was to the other law firm and potentially did resolve that claim. I don't know, because the only information I have about it is that it is a separate claim, and that that law firm that you made that payment to is the one who represents the Master Homeowners Association in that claim. Also understand, Ms. Spells, you are not the only person who appears before me, no offense to Ms. Burnett, and complains that lawyers at these types of firms who do this kind of work are not particularly responsive and do not return phone calls when you are attempting to resolve a case. I understand your frustration. Unfortunately, legally, the association has provided me with the information that is necessary to obtain the judgment that they sought. And so I have entered the judgment. The only thing I can tell you, and I know it's frustrating because, again, I understand that it is difficult to get these law firms on the phone. The only thing I can tell you is that in my experience, their preference is always still to try to get a payment plan, even once they have a judgment, to try and work out a payment plan so that this matter can be resolved at some point. And beyond that, again, Ms. Spells, my apologies that you were having such a rough time and that I am the person who has to be the bearer of that bad news. But that is legally what has occurred today. And your next steps would be, either to pursue some sort of appeal if that's what you choose to do, and or to stay in touch with the attorney's office who obtained this judgment on behalf of Greatwood Glen. Do you understand, Ms. Spells?
The attorneys, the last part, I'm definitely not understanding. Well, can it be because I was before 9 a.m. trying to reach and trying to get online? And even the information that I said, I even asked Mr. Friop if he could give it to you on my behalf, because I was there and was trying and have been since before 9, and even last week, that it could be continued or something, since I had to wait. And I was hoping maybe even if I was the last person, but since I wasn't there to be held till the end, because I was trying so hard. I had $1,700 in the bank.
I understand, Ms. Spells, and I apologize. Unfortunately, I have other attorneys and other matters that I need to address. There are steps that you can take that I've outlined for you today. If you are unsatisfied with the ruling that I've made today, that is absolutely your right to, ask a court to revisit it. I also encourage you to continue to follow up with that law firm to see what can be resolved, because there typically is a way to do that. But for now, I am going to have to adjourn this matter and wish you the best of luck and hope that you have a good day going forward. I'm, again, very sorry, Ms. Spells.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank you.
very much.
Have a good day.
I can't now, but thank you.